Hey YouTube, I hope you enjoy my videos, but I don't want to be those annoying people who just, or YouTubers, or whatever you call those, people who make videos on YouTube and post them on YouTube, I guess. Make those introductions. I don't really care. I'm just going to get to the point. So this is a little more advanced, but not that advanced. It's just some more basic review, or like not that much. But this is what we did last class, okay? But on like in last video, I mean. So this time, what we're gonna do is working with numbers. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's whatever you can do on a calculator, you can do on Python. I mean, people actually tell me that their kids, or like they if they're a kid actually cheat doing this. I mean, I've got to admit, I mean, there are lots of kids who cheat using this. Because, like, you just do print 5 times 9, gives you the answer 45. I mean, even for division, mods, rounding, powers, square roots, all of that. Like, so let me just get started. So this is the same thing as a print function, except I actually am not printing words, because words, if you're printing words, or I mean, you could do one, but like in this, I'm actually printing something that is not really something to put in quotes, because I don't want it to print exactly what it exactly. So, because if I put it in quotes, you know what will happen? Because I don't think you guys know. I'll show you what will happen. If you put this both in quotes, what will happen? Print, let me run it. It'll literally just go and print 5 times 9. So, we don't want that. We want it to print the answer in this. I mean, you could, if you guys want it to print the numbers, I mean, you could put parentheses around it, but yeah, I'm working with numbers here. So, for this, they're different. So let's start with this. So this is the multiplication symbol, as you guys know. It's gonna print the answer of this. This is division, the slash 10 divided by 2 gives you the answer 5. And then what this is 5 to the power of 3, because 2 of these is actually 2 asterisks, or 2 multiplication signs, is actually the power. So 5 to the power of 3 is equal to 125, and it printed that, so that's good. But there's also another way to do it. What you could do is do something that is called the POW. Over here, POW. Oops, switched it up. It basically tells it, it's a function that basically, see, it says F for function, that basically it's used for bases, exponents, and mod. It basically tells you the power of it. You could also do this, POW. So, print, and then parentheses, and then POW, and then another parentheses, except it's not closing it, starting a new set, and then 3, 2. So it's going to do 3 to the power of 2, which is basically 9, so it should print 9. I believe it's line 12, so it should print 9. I mean, right over here, yep, it prints 9. So, yeah. So it's basically taking this as the base and taking this as the power. So if you switch it up, that might be just a little bit of a problem, but yeah, it's not that much. Yeah, okay, fine. It is a big problem, but relax. So there's also maxima. It tells you out of the 2 numbers you put, which one's bigger. Now over here, I put 3 and 7, okay? And just to separate the things, put commas, please. Don't put pluses, otherwise it's going to think you're adding them. And that's not good, because it's going to ruin your whole equation, or anything if you're cheating on your math homework or something. I don't know. But, yeah, so it actually prints 7 over here because it takes out the bigger number. And 7 is the bigger number in this, so that's why I printed it. And then there's also another function, min. Okay, and remember, these might be hard, but just, if I were you, what I would do is basically, literally just take all of this, or just pause the video, look at all of this, type this all up, and then keep it as notes. So if you need help on how to, find the bigger number out of them, which I don't know why, unless you're not that smart. Because, I mean, you could, whatever, okay? That was a bad example. If you wanted, like, to do the power of something, like, you forgot, there's, like, what's the other way instead of 2 asterisks, or the 2, multiplication symbols, what's the way? You could just look back at this on your notes. I already have a file saved on this, working with numbers, and it just shows everything that I have already. And I took it as notes. And so yeah. And then we have the abs. And what abs actually does is calculate the absolute value. And just saying over here, I did a string. My num is the string, and equals is my assigning sign, and then 5 is what I assign the value to my num. So now my num is basically also known as 5. So if you want to print my num, it'll print 5. Big brain. Right over here. Now over here, what I did was, I did print string my num, because my num is a string, right? If I do this, guess what? It would have like 10 errors. It just wouldn't work. Even if you did like, oops. Even if you, oh my god. Even if, oops. Okay, so even if you did that, it would still not work. Because there's nothing to put parentheses around. So you have to put string around it. And then my num. Oops. That happens. I don't know how to fix that. It's just a function that makes it like blocky instead of like just a normal line. So I seem to have fixed it. So yep. Where was I? Oh yeah. So the string, you have to have the string, because without the string, let me show you. Let me print it. Or, oops, let me just delete this. So, I'll say over here, line 10, my num plus my favorite number over here is a mistake, because my num is a string, so you'll have to do it. I know it's sometimes bad, but just a sneak peek, or like a secret. You won't really need to use this that much unless you become a Python banker or something. But like, if you're doing recreation, a Python for recreation, or like you're just a kid who's having fun, then just relax, man, or girl, or woman. Just, you don't have to do this code. I mean, even though it's hard. I mean, I don't even like to remember all of these codes. I'm not doing Python just for math. I mean, it's good to know all of this, but it's kind of hard to know. So you need this is like the basics of it. I mean, the basics of working with numbers, or mostly all of it. So yeah. So you have to have the string, because it's a string. Just remember that. And nothing will happen if you put the string, put the string, nothing will happen. I mean, nothing wrong will happen, at least. So I put string, and then my num, and then print my favorite number, and then it put 5, probably, plus my favorite number. So 5, my favorite number, right over here. I can see it. And then absolute value is ABS. I mean, these thingies in parentheses, they're annoying, but you have to know them. So absolute value of 5, which is my num, basically, is, let me run it again, 5, because the absolute value of 5 is just 5, so, yeah, I mean, I guess I got that correct. And then there's power. Power is basically, we already went through that. It's another way to do 2 asterisks, or 2 multiplication symbols in this case. But make sure to separate the numbers with commas. And then max basically shows, we went over that, it shows the greater out of these 2 numbers. Minimum shows the greater out of, the smaller one out of these 2. So it'll probably print 4 instead of 7, instead of 8, because 4 is smaller. Round basically rounds it. So if you have 3.2, it would round it to 3. If you have 3.7, it would round it to 4. And then this is seal. Okay. What seal does, or floor basically, what it does is rounds the number to the nearest, greatest, integer, except it doesn't any different than the round function. It's basically just another way to do the round function, I guess. You could just do seal, but I really don't know why they made it like that, because it's just so hard to remember the word seal. I mean, how are you supposed to know that? But anyway, so then there's floor, okay? So floor. What floor is basically, it takes the number that is less than the greatest number or integer that is less than the number you put in. So if I put in 5, what would it give me? It would give me 5, because it's the greatest number than what I put in. But if I give you 4.7, it would give me 4, because it gives me a whole number, or actually an integer. And decimals are not integers, so yeah. And then lastly, we have square roots. Square root of 36, square root, what you basically do in square root is SQRT. I mean, you guys could type all of this, or just screenshot and then just type all of it and stop. And then this is SQRT, and then 36, square root of 36. Make sure you have exactly amount of parentheses you used. So I used 2 over here. I close it with 2, 2, 2. Make sure that happens. So it's obviously going to be 6, because 6 squared is equal to 36. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. This is it for numbers, working with numbers. Thanks for watching.